Okay.
All right, so we'll do a review from last week, as we always do. This is some more advanced Zakeif Katon phrases. So we'll just do what's on the screen. I'll get us started, and we'll just sort of refresh the memory. So this would be Mapach Pashta Yetiv Munach Zakeif Katon. Try that Mapach. 1, 2, 3. Mapach Pashta Yetiv Munach Zakeif Katon. Good. And this one. Yetiv Zakeif Katon. And this one. Yetiv Munach Zakeif Katon. Good. And this one. Kadma Zakeif Katon. Good. And that one. Kadma Mercha Pashta Zakeif Katon. Good. And that, we did that one already. Let's find another one more interesting, perhaps. Okay, that one. 1, 2, 3. Telisha Ketana. Kadma Mapach Pashta Munach Zakeif Katon. Good. And that one? Kadma Mercha Pashta Zakeif Katon. Good. And that one? Mapach Pashta Yetiv Munach Zakeif Katon. Good. Let's see what else here. Okay, we'll do that one and we'll go on. 1, 2, 3. Mapach Pashta Yetiv Munach Zakeif Katon. Good. All right, and we do some boxes. So let's do a little bit of that. 1, 2, 3. Yetiv Munach Zakeif Katon. Good. And that one. Kadma Zakeif Katon. Yeah. And that one. Yetiv Zakeif Katon. Good. And that one? Telisha Ketana. Kadma Mapach Pashta Zakeif Katon. Good. And that one? Mercha Pashta Zakeif Katon. Good. And that one. Let's do that one. 1, 2, 3. Pashta Yetiv Munach Zakeif Katon. And let's do that one. Telisha Ketana. Kadma Mapach Pashta Zakeif Katon. Excuse me. Okay. That's good. Okay, and we did some words. We'll just do a few of these. 1, 2, 3. Shemen Mishchat Kodesh. Good. And this one. V'ratza Adonai et Osno B'martzeya. Good. 1, 2, 3. Al Mokeda Al Hamizbeach Kol Halayla Ad Haboker. Oh.
I know, those are
So there's a few landmarks in the Torah where letters are either bigger or smaller. They have spiritual significance, but and I don't remember exactly what the Mokdal one is. Right. So there are. So for example, I don't remember what the Mokdal one specifically is, but Moshe's name the first time it appears is small. It's the first time in Devarim it's small, because Moses didn't want to be in the Torah. He was so humble, right? So God said, compromise, we'll make the first letter of your name small. So there's reasons like that for different things. I don't remember what the Mokdal one is, but we can look it up. That one, 1, 2, 3. Vayitain Ishbach et Shechovto. Right, Shechov is a Kamatz Katon there. Okay, good. And that one? Kach et kol rashei ha'am. Good. And this last one, and we'll go on. 1, 2, 3. Mi asher chatoli. We've got a lot of Katons this morning. That's good. Okay. So that seems to be pretty well ingrained. That's really good. Let me make this bigger. And we'll study. Maybe we'll make this bigger. Okay. Pazeir, Zakeif, Gadol, and Talisha Gedola phrases. Okay, so this is going to build on what we've studied already, of course. There are three tropes that are not very common, but they are common enough to be found in nearly every reading in the Torah, at least once. So Talisha Gedola is very much looks like a Talisha Ketana, but as we're reading from right to left, we hit the big end of the Talisha, of the little magnifying glass before the small end, so it must be a Gedola. And it sounds very similar to Talisha Gadol Ketana. So Talisha Ketana is Talisha Ketana. Talisha Gedola, to make it a bigger note, we add one note. Talisha Gedola. Talisha Gedola. Yes? Okay? Make sure you let me do it first so that we hear it clearly first, and then we can try it together. So let's try that. 1, 2, 3.
The symbol is just like the inverted of the.
Yeah, exactly. It faces the other way. And it always hangs off the beginning of the word, so we put a second one on the accented syllable. You'll see when we actually get to some actual tropes. I still don't know why they have Talisha Gedola, Talisha Ketana in all gray, but it should be orange. Okay, it has some pausing power. We'll see that in a minute. I'm sure it'll say that lower on the screen. So Talisha Gedola, Talisha Gedola. Good. And Zakeif Gadol, remember we had Zakeif Katon, Munach, Zakeif Katon, or Zakeif Katon. Zakeif Gadol is this. Zakeif Gadol, Zakeif Gadol. And, the symbol looks similar to Zakeif Katon. It's just got a line beside it. The trope symbol itself is augmented, right, from its Katon version, right? So this is the Gadol version.
That's a longer.
Yeah, exactly. So Zakeif Gadol, Zakeif Gadol. Good. Pazeir is fun. I like to think of it like the basketball trope. It kind of looks like a basketball net if you look closely here. Pazeir, it's like a backboard and with a hoop, and you have to kind of take a layup with your voice. You have to go up, then down, just like a basketball does, right? So Pazeir. Pazeir. Good. So, Talisha Gedola always appears by itself. It always appears at the beginning of a word. Okay? When a different syllable is accented, the Talisha Gedola is repeated to indicate the accented syllable. And just as I said, we'd see it below, there it is. Okay, so it's gray because it hangs off the end of the word. And when the word is accented not on its last, actually even when it's on its last syllable, you're going to see another one there, just like up here. Talisha Gedola. So this one. So what this is sort of saying is that we could see Talisha Gedola just hanging off the beginning of the word and not on the accented syllable, in which case the accented syllable you can assume to be the last one. As usual in Hebrew, right? In Hebrew, most often, and certainly if no meteg is there or a trope is there, aside from the last syllable, it means the last syllable is the accented one. So, it would be great if I could scroll. It's not letting me, so bear with me a second. Yeah, there we go, okay. So, the symbol for Talisha Gedola is very similar to the symbol for Talisha Ketana. Well, the zoom is preventing us from seeing that at the moment, but we'll just... Right. So Talisha Gedola, you hit the big end first. Talisha Ketana is hanging off the other end of the word, and you get to the small end first. Again, the tail of the Talisha Gedola trope symbol points to the left, while the tail for the Talisha Ketana points to the right. Note also that Talisha Gedola is a Lord trope requiring the reader to pause. Right? That's what we said, it's orange. The Talisha Gedola should be orange. The Talisha Ketana is a servant trope, so it's green. So it requires us to keep reading through to the next word. Zakeif Gadol always appears by itself. It doesn't have any helper tropes. Okay? Pazeir is supported by 1, 2, or sometimes 3 munachs in a row. Munach Pazeir. Munach. So it doesn't really do very much musically. If you have 2 or 3, munach Pazeir. Following the rule where if we have a munach before a green trope, that munach doesn't do anything musically. So however many munachs we have in a row before a pazeir, there's no musical anything going on. Munach, munach, munach. There might be a psik sometimes after the third munach. Munach, 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 pazeir. Okay. So let's study that. Okay, so this is, we'll do repeat after me for the first one. Munach, repeat after me. Munach pazeir, Zakeif Gadol, Munach Talisha Gedolah. Yes? Does that all make sense? It's all like very modular. Just keep doing each trope separately and the way it goes and you've got it. So 1, 2, 3. Munach pazeir, Zakeif Gadol, Munach Talisha Gedolah. Good. And this one? Pazeir. Good. And for those of you that I was just about to say that, exactly. So it's
and back.
Exactly. So the scale degrees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 3, 2, Pazeir. We actually don't hit the 1 again on the way down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 5, 3, 2. Okay. All right, and that one, Zakeif Gadol, Zakeif Gadol. Good, and that one, Pazeir. Good, and that one, Munach Pazeir. Good, and that one, Zakeif Gadol. Good, and that one, Munach Talisha Gedolah. Good, and that one, Munach Pazeir. Good, and that one, Munach Talisha Gedolah. Yeah, there aren't so many of these combinations because they're all like, 2 of the 3 of them don't have anything with them, right? And the other one has a munach, so it's going to be a short chapter. We'll do that one again. 1, 2, 3. Munach Pazeir. Oh, okay, could have done that one. All right, that one. 1, 2, 3. Munach Pazeir. Good, moving on. Okay, so this one, good, some longer combinations. 1, 2, 3. Munach Pazeir, Zakeif Gadol, Munach Talisha Gedolah. Good, very nice. That one, Munach Pazeir. So there's our example of 3 munachs in a row. Remember I said usually when you have 3 munachs in a row you get a psik afterwards? So that's what that is, a little bit of a pause after the third one. And it's got 2 boxes because it's a connected trope. It's a munach psik or munach pasek. Doesn't matter how you
Means
say
a pause.
it. Means a pause. So it's 2 boxes because it's connected to this one. So munach pazeir, which is interesting, right? Because munach as a green trope means you have to go on and say something after it. But in the case of a pasek, that's the thing that comes right after it. So while we don't normally pause with a servant trope, a green trope, the next thing is a pause and you're going right into that, so the rule is still okay. This rule is still intact.
But if you have 3 monarchs, it would be very difficult actually without the pause of some kind to do a proper pazeir.
Possibly, and that might be why they do that, right? Because
I think so. You can do 2, the way I figured it, and it's coming to me. It's like after 2 it's easy, but after the third one it's nice to have a.
Right. So that is a reality. Now, of course, we can all do preparation and take a bigger breath before we need to, but not everyone reading Torah was a musician and could, do breath control and all that kind of stuff. So, I think the rabbis were very smart in putting it in, putting in a pasek there, so we can, as Agnes said, take a little bit of a breath when we need.
And I think part of the reason for doing all of this was the fact that people couldn't really actually read, and in order to make this kind of understandable in a different way and to be followed by large crowds as they were theoretically
Yes,
at least.
in the market, yeah.
In the market you really need that musical thing to kind of keep attention to the text itself.
Yes, exactly. Good. All right, let's continue this and we'll go on to some words. 1, 2, 3. Munach Pazeir. Good. And that one? Munach Pazeir. Good. And that one? Munach Pazeir. I don't write them, I just press next. What? I think it's Talisha Gedolah.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Talisha Gedolah. Yeah, okay. We've done this 7 million times. That one. 1, 2, 3. Munach Talisha Gedolah. Good. And that one. Munach Pazeir. Everyone good and sick of that yet? All right. Let's go on to some words. So Safa. 1, 2, 3. Safa. Good. And that one? Bimkom. Good. And that one? Vayir'u. Good. And that one? La'arod. Good. And that one? Vayomar. Okay. Come on, guys. Not guys. Come on, computer program. 1, 2, 3. Suruna. Good. And that one? Ve'afu. Good. And that one? Virishtam. Good. And that one? 1, 2, 3. Eile. Right. So why not eile? Sorry. Why not eile?
It's got a dozen in Lamed.
No, because also we have that in the beginning, so you
And
make
then it's by
that the
itself.
mean.
It's by itself. There you go. So that's what I was getting at, is that there's only one of these, not another one over the le. So the accent is actually on the second to last syllable, which happens to be the first syllable, which is why there isn't. It's a 2-syllable word with the accent on the first
But
syllable.
why is there that no longer?
That's just the way the word is spelled.
Oh.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with the trope.
No, that's a grammatical thing to the
Right.
adult in the language.
Yeah, it comes
And
out
I don't
eile.
remember the-
Well, it effectively doubles the letter, so it's both ale and le.
Oh, okay.
Ale. We don't make a differentiation when we're pronouncing that. We just say ale, right?
Right.
But that one's ale, so the accent on the first syllable, right? Good. All right. Next one. 1, 2, 3. Asher pasach. So that. Sorry, you did it right. Pasach. But there's the example of where the accent is on the last syllable. Remember I said it's not just the second to last syllable with Tlisha Gedolah. Whenever the last syllable is accented, they'll also have 2.
But when you say ele, it's not ele, it's ele.
Correct.
So there's no,
Eile.
there's no point in moving the accent on the word
Correct.
if it flows with the rest of the stuff.
That's right. Yeah. Sometimes we modify where the note falls. Okay, that one. 1, 2, 3. Tishmeru. Good. And that one. Vechol. Good. And that one. Ba'asotah. Good. At the end. And that one. 1, 2, 3. Vayomer. Yeah. An accent on the yo. Vayomer. Yeah. Good. And that one. Mimal. Good. And that one. Oh. Good. And that one. Vechol. Excellent. And that one. Beino. Good. And we have a lot of those. Let's just skip some more of those. That one. 1, 2, 3. Lechol habehema. Good. No tropes until we get to the very end. So it's all just da 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 da. So we get to da 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 da. Very good. Okay, that one. 1, 2, 3. Lechetzron. Good. And that one. Achanavi. Good. All right. Let's see what's next. Okay. Okay. 2 Lord tropes on one word. 2 orange tropes on one word. We've learned that when 2 tropes appear on one word, we sing both tropes in the order they appear on the syllable in which they appear. But in all but 2 places in the Torah, so this is really rare, okay? And in all places in Haftarah and Megillah where we find 2 tropes on one word, one of them is green and the other is red or orange. Sorry, I said this is really rare too early. That was the not rare situation. Okay, so usually when we have 2 tropes, one is green and the other is red and orange, like we can have Munach, Zakeif Gadol, Munach Zakeif Katon on one trope. We sometimes have Kadma Zakeif Katon on one trope, and so forth. The tropes we have colored red and orange are known as Lord tropes. The green tropes are known as servant tropes. We know that already. There are 2 places in the Torah where 2 orange colored tropes appear on one word. This is the really rare part, right? Only in 2 places in the Torah. The rules for these 2 places is that the tropes are sung from left to right instead of right to left. So, on the panel to the left, you should see 2 examples of this. Yeah, we do. In each case, the word has a talisha gedolah followed by a ger shahid. Following the new rule for 2 Lord tropes on one word, you sing the song for ger shahid first, then the song for talisha gedolah. Sing the melody for both tropes on the same syllable. So we're going to be taking a big breath here because some of these take a long time, or this one takes a long time. So we can hear what they sound like, but I'm going to sing them to you. This goes like this. Za. You see that? Za.
They actually fuse.
They're fused, and they're in the reverse order that you would expect. And while we're reading from right to left, we're reading the tropes from left to right. Okay, so let's try that. Za. Good. And this one. Kirvo. Yeah, remember, 2 places in the Torah.
What does Gershayim sound like again?
Gershayim, and
It's
Talisha
not a
Gedolah. So da 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 da. Yeah?
Yeah, the Gershon is a bit of a staccato.
Is it? Gershayim.
Kind of.
Okay,
Kind of.
sure. Different people hear different musical patterns in different ways, so that might be how you're hearing it.
Well,
That's okay.
that's the way that I can then reproduce it properly. If I think, because you can't really make a really good staccato with voice. At least I can't. And if I think of a staccato, then it comes
That
out
does
the
it
right
for you.
way.
Good, 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 good. All right, let's just try those 2 one more time. 1, 2, 3. Za. And kirvu. 1, 2, 3. Kirvu. Good. All right. So that is it for that lesson.
Do you know what the value of making complex things like this is?
So it can be different things, right? So in those examples, actually, let's go back.
Like the word like that does not seem very fancy.
Right. So it has, when you think of it, it's 2 pausal, it's 2 Lord tropes, which make you stop. So it can be that we're setting up something very important, and you can do that on the word before zeh is not very important, or maybe it is. Like if this is the thing, I'd have to look up what the context is, but this is the thing, that does that, you know?
Yeah.
It makes us pause at the right time. For whatever the reason is, it makes us pause and take more time. Like, different tropes have different functions. You know, the red tropes give us commas and periods and that sort of thing. The shalshelet, which I don't think we've seen yet, we might be seeing that very soon. Shalshelet takes a very, very long time to sing, and in 2 of 3 times it appears on the word vaima'ain, or another word with that shoresh, which means to tarry or to delay. And the trope literally makes us delay. So that is a common thing. Exactly. But before Potiphar, and Potiphar says, you know, she seduces him, and he delays a little bit. He doesn't know what to do with himself. He does. He doesn't know how to phrase it. So these tropes have some sort of power to hone in on the meaning of the text, or do a little bit of word painting, that sort of thing. Kirvu, come close to me. You travel. right? Travel, like go a distance, or spiritually go a distance. So we need, like, or maybe it takes time to get close to God. Presumably it's God, but you know, maybe it's Moses saying, "Come close and listen." So now we need to take time and move in and huddle. You know, like it. You never know, but I guess in these two you do know because there's only two of them. Okay, so that's that. So end of Aliyah phrases. Okay, so we're getting to the end of this unit. But anyway, the end of Aliyah phrases. Every Torah Aliyah ends in a sof pasuk phrase, because every sentence has a sof pasuk in it, and of course an Aliyah has a last sentence. However, the melody of the mercha, tibecha, and sof pasuk are different at the end of an Aliyah than for the other verses in the reading. The way that the melody is applied to the tropes is also different. In most cases, there is a melody for end of Aliyah that is used regardless of how many words and tropes are actually present in the phrase. Here's how it works. The largest sof pasuk phrase has 4 words. Mercha tibecha, mercha sof pasuk. Okay, so that is the sof pasuk phrase for the end of Aliyah. So the end of an Aliyah melody has 4 parts. Each word gets 1 part of the melody. So when there are 2 parts, we put the what does it say? The word with the tibecha gets the first 2 parts of the melody, and the word with the sof pasuk gets the last 2 parts. So the 4 parts are yam bam paradam. Well, it's yam bam and paradam and yam bam and bam paradadadadadam. Right? They're short phrases. So mercha tibecha, mercha, sof pasuk, right? When there are 2 phrases, we go, well, it's really hard to do it on this one trope, but it would go tibecha, sof pasuk. Well, actually, I'm not sure we do it right, just quite like that, but I would do, for example, tibecha, sof pasuk. So, but we still have to have those 2, the main ones, tibecha and sof pasuk, yam paradam, right? It doesn't necessarily have an upbeat. Yam bam paradam. We're going to see those in the example. In the examples, it gets a little more complicated when there are 3 words. Note in the phrase below that mercha and tibecha are connected to one another. The mercha is a green-colored trope that runs right into the tibecha. An orange trope implying a pause. The sof pasuk stands alone. So that's mercha tibecha sof pasuk. So when you see that combination, you sing the first part of the melody on the mercha, and the second part on the tibecha, tibecha, and you sing sof pasuk. It's very hard to demonstrate this with the actual trope names because we're trying to limit the words to show that it's a limited word example, but we need more syllables. So we're going to really get the feel of this when we come into the exercises. The other 3 trope sof pasuk combination reverses this. Tibecha, mercha, sof pasuk. However, I don't really see this as a reversal. I see this as just doing the modularly. We had mercha and tibecha, and we had mercha, sof pasuk. So in my mind, this just leaves off the mercha at the beginning of this. Tibecha, mercha, sof pasuk. Yes? Hang on 1 second. Yeah.
It depends actually on the text that you have, right? At the end, whether you use a form or that one.
Yes. Just give me a moment here, and really this is a moment I should really stop the video because I think I've just sung each haftarah ending, haftarah sof pasuk, which they're very similar because they're both in major all of a sudden. Usually the haftarah trope has a minor feel and we go into major. So let me just orient myself. Let's just see if I can get some exercises that will do that. Yeah, I did. So it should be mercha tibecha, mercha sof pasuk, mercha tibecha, mercha sof pasuk. So let's go back again in that context and just review that.
Just edit
I think I'm going to have to. So this is mercha tibecha, mercha sof pasuk. So try that. Mercha tibecha, mercha sof pasuk. So now in that context, going on and doing this the right way. Tipecha sof pasuk. And this one. Mercha tipecha sof pasuk. And tipecha mercha sof pasuk. Yes?
Is Merchad different? Or
Mercha. Ah, you're right. Mercha is the same, isn't it? Mercha tipecha. Mercha tipecha.
okay, it's just a Tibecha.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Okay. So, but anyway, let's do that one more time just to drill that back in. I will try and remember to edit out that piece. It's not scrolling anymore with my fingers with this manual. Mercha tipecha, mercha sof pasuk. So just to review again, those four parts are mercha and tipecha and mercha sof pasuk. Oops, mercha sof pasuk.
So second Mercha.
Second Mercha doesn't.
Washes into
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have much musicality to it. It kind of acts like a munach, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, which isn't surprising for the end, but this is a special case, so you can't really compare. So this is what happens. Tipecha sof pasuk. Tipecha sof pasuk. Mercha tipecha sof pasuk. Mercha tipecha sof pasuk. So I think if you go back to how we split things up so that they are actually modular, Mercha does have its own sound, but it's still different than the first one. So really it should be Mercha sof pasuk, right? If you want to be really medactic about it, Mercha sof pasuk, Mercha tipecha. But because we have this sof as a one of two pickup beats, we usually just do the upward note on the sof. Mercha sof pasuk. Getting technical, let's not really go there, but we've got the pattern. Mercha tipecha, mercha sof pasuk. Good. So exercises, or not exercises, but examples with the trope. Mercha tipecha, mercha sof pasuk. And this one. Mercha tipecha sof pasuk. And this one. Tipecha, mercha sof pasuk. And this one, sof pasuk. So remember what we said, we still do the whole, when there's just, actually didn't really talk about this, but when it's just sof pasuk, because you can get a sof pasuk out of the blue after all kinds of other things, it doesn't have to appear with any helper tropes. So then it's the same sound as mercha sof pasuk. Sof pasuk. Yes? So that's where they were saying it doesn't matter how many tropes there are, you do like at least that half of the phrase. Or the notes. Okay, and that one, 1, 2, 3. Tipecha sof pasuk. Make sure sof pasuk. That's it. And then that one, 1, 2, 3. Tipecha mercha sof pasuk. And that one, mercha tipecha mercha sof pasuk. Good. And that one. Tipecha sof pasuk. Good. And let's go on to our. Oh, we didn't even do boxes. Okay. So this one, vehoter. Good. And that one, 1, 2, 3. Asher tedaber el bnei Yisrael. This one here. So that's part of the sof
The
pasuk.
sof pasuk, instead of having it on the.
No, it always,
It
sof
just
pasuk,
always, yeah.
yeah, sof pasuk always has the 2 dots, the colon, and the meteg component. The meteg always shows you where an accent is, whether it's part of the trope or not. The vertical line always shows you the accented syllable, but on a sof pasuk, there's always, even if it's the last syllable, they show you. They show you, so that it's always, you'll see these in every one of these exercises. And that one, 1, 2, 3. Lo yarpecha velo ya'azvecha. Ka, yeah? Ka. It's a kaf sofit, not a chaf sofit. Ya'azvecha. Okay, that one, 1, 2, 3. Vetiharo hakohen. Good, and that one. Ve'atem tacharishun. Good, and that one. Ish lemishpechotav al avotav. Yeah, and you pronounce that very well. You obviously all know the rule, but just to review that the yud that gets stuck between an a and a vav at the end of a word is silent. Same thing with echa. So an asegol, a yud, and a chav sofit cha with a kamatz is going to be silent also. Techa, whatever it is. Okay. And that one, 1, 2, 3. Yegareshem me'arzo. Good. And that one? Asher ani noten lifnei Yisrael. Good. And that one? Me'hatato v'nislach lo. Right. So there's an example of what I was mentioning Joe before. That we have the sof pasuk here, we have a mercha. The lo doesn't have any pickup beat, so we're going to have to stick it back on where it really goes, onto the mercha. V'nislach, right? 3 notes that we don't normally have, or 2 notes that we don't normally have on the mercha at the end of a phrase. Mercha atipacha, mercha. So here we have mer da 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 lo, right? There we go. All right, that one. 1, 2, 3. Asher etein eilecha. Yeah, so you need an extra note or 2 on A, so that the le can land on the right place. Eilecha. Good. And 1 more of those, and we'll see what's next. 1, 2, 3. Me'eretz Mitzrayim al tzivotam. Yeah, so one option here, you might want to go al tzivotam. The problem is there's no meteg on the al. It's not even considered a secondary accent. So I went al tzivotam. The problem is there's also no secondary accent on C. So what do? Just move it as late as you possibly can. The accent, the secondary accent. So me'eretz Mitzrayim al tzivotam. Some people might really push the envelope, although I wouldn't recommend it. Me'eretz Mitzrayim al tzivotam. I don't think that's necessary. That just sounds weird to me. Do you agree? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you want to put all of the accent on the tam because there's no other secondary accents indicated. Al tzivotam. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
What do I know?
Sure. Okay, point taken. So that one, 1, 2, 3. Betoch b'nei Yisrael. Good. All right. Adding word exercises. Okay, so when we get to these adding word exercises, this is generally a cumulative review, so we're going to get some more meat on our bones here. Let's do these readings. 1, 2, 3. Sheshet yamim ta'aseh ma'asecha uvayom hashvi'i tishbot leman yanuach shorecha v'chamorecha v'yinafesh ben amatecha v'hager. Now, I'm not sure whether we're supposed to do this as a sof aliyah or
I
not.
was just wondering.
So, I don't know. Let's just see. Sometimes it says in the... Oh, you know what?
V'yinofesh v'namosecho v'hager.
Ignore that, but that's telling us it's thinking of it like a non-end of aliyah. Okay. So, I will tell you that there is a symbol that's sometimes used to show when there's a break in the text, like an end of aliyah can often be. They'll sometimes put like an upside down or a backwards fey here, and that shows that would probably indicate a sof aliyah thing in this exercise, but I'm not sure if they do that or not. Let's just see if it says anything about that. No, I don't think it does. All right, let's just do the next one. 1, 2, 3. Vayehi ka'asher kila Yitzchak levarech et Yaakov Vayehi ach yatso Yaakov me'et penei Yitzchak aviv ve'esav achiv ba mitzedo. Not bad, not bad. No, you just, the idea is you're sight reading this. You just keep reading, and maybe I'm going too fast. I can slow that down a little bit. Question?
Yeah, so above the Vehi, I forget what it's called.
This one, Revi'i?
Yeah.
Or
So
this one?
that's so similar to the Haftarah.
Yes, so difference is, Revi'i is Torah. Revi'i. Sorry, no, that's. Revi'i is Haftarah. Revi'i, Torah, right? So
Okay.
very similar, just the Haftarah has that extra little up and down at the end.
Okay.
So Vayehi Ka'asher, yeah. Okay, let's do the next one. We'll do it a little slower. It's sight reading. You gotta like think of a lot of stuff at once, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Bezot tibachenu chefaro im teitzeu mizeh ki im bevo achichem hakaton heina. Yeah. Oh, we're really getting this. It's getting longer and longer. It's fine. You can do it. It's no harder. It's just longer. 1, 2, 3. Va'ereid lehatzilo miyad Mitzrayim ulha'aloto min ha'aretz hahi El Eretz Tova Urchava El Eretz Zavat Chalav Udvash El Mekom HaKenaani VeHaChiti VeHaEmori VeHaPerizi VeHaChivi VeHaYevusi. That was awesome. Good job, guys. But some of us are shaking our heads. Oh, it's okay. It's long. Just I'm not looking at anyone. I said some of us. But it's again, it's okay that this isn't necessarily you're not experts at it yet. You're getting there though. It's a long phrase, so just take your time. We're doing this obviously to get through it, and I'm leading you. But when you're doing this on your own, take the time you need. The words are hard to figure out on their own. Lots of syllables. We have to think about the accent. We have to think about what the musical sound is. Sometimes we have to think about modifying the music so that the syllables fit the music the right ways. There's so much to think about, and it's really impressive how you're doing this. So yeah.
Could you
It's
remind
kind
us
of
of
like
the
singing and playing guitar, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about for that too. Yeah.
the Remy phrase at the beginning?
Yeah. So it's a Rivi.
How that works again?
Yeah.
So yeah, very simply put, all you really have to remember is munach, orange munach with a line afterwards. Munach legarmei. So remember, it's part of a Revi'i phrase.
Yeah.
So there's deeper rules. Remember, like if a Revi'i phrase, which remember a phrase doesn't mean a whole sentence, it means a trope phrase, right? The equivalent of one trope. This is still within the same trope phrase. This Revi'i, for example, is not separated by other stuff. A munach, like if this was a munach with a line, and you've got a textbook that's just black and white, and there isn't a Revi'i phrase until after this segol, this becomes just a munach with a pause. Right? Munach, whatever. I can't give you an example. I mean, I can give you an example, but to read this wouldn't make sense because I'm giving you the alternate case, right? But the reality is, all you have to know is orange trope, orange line, munach legarmei, right? So, va'erei lehatzilo miyad Mitzrayim. Yeah? Okay? So back in that lesson where we spent a lot of time on the rule of Le Garme and Revivi phrases. The reality is, give you a sheet of paper from this program, you've got it automatically. And again, if you've got a black and white text and you don't have my help or this program or whatever, bless you. Bless you.
Bless you.
There won't be any lightning strike coming down if you choose the wrong one by accident. Bless you.
Not
You
to have a
can-
nose problem, but not to.
But if you wanted to, you could, when you're studying, when you're preparing, you can figure out the rule by deciding noticing whether the Revi'i comes right after the Munach, and if it does, then it's probably Le Garme. Not probably, it is. Okay, so that's really good. Let's do the next one. And this will be our last one for today because we're almost done. Okay, so let's do a longer one. Oh! I pressed the button too fast. Okay, this one. 1, 2, 3. V'chi yamut meit alav b'feta pitom v'timei rosh nisro v'gilach rosho b'yom tahorato b'yom hashavi'i yigalechenu. Really good. Okay, so I will leave this open so that we can do more of this next week. And I'll also give you an idea of next week of where we are in the grand scheme of things. I mean next session. There isn't a session next week. I'm out of town and a lot of people are on March break or whatever, but
Next week.
oh, right, sorry, I got confused. The other stuff that's happening for some reason I thought today was Tuesday. Great, right? Okay, no session next week because it's Limud. Everyone should come to Limud. If you're not signed up yet, please do that. If anyone's interested in my instant choir, that's happening as well. So, okay, thank you very much, everyone. Good job.
Thank you.
Turn this off.